And now here on LWT, it is time for... Yes, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes.
So as I say, Mr. S, you could have knocked me over with a bulldozer. He'd actually been cooking the books. Well, I told him I thought this puff pastry tasted off. Mind you, he was that sort of a man, always pulling people's legs.
A practical joker.
No, short-sighted dentist. Of course, I'm not one to spread malicious marmalade, as you well know. That's my cliché. But I reckon his wife put him up to it. You never knew his wife, did you? No, redhead with blonde hair. She used to work in the IBM Supplementary Audit Programming Unit. Of course, eventually she ran off with one of them darky computers. I don't think her old man ever got over the shock. Oh! This bread is stale.
Yes, it matches the conversation. Norman, you were very quiet this evening.
I don't feel too good, Vera. I think it was that meal.
Oh, well, if you had enough, I'll clear the table. Nice and tidy again. And I'll tell you what's very good for an upset stomach, Mr. S.
Oh, what's that?
Mouldy apples and curdled cream. It never fails to give me one.
Yes, well, thank you very much,
Oh,
Mr. Yes,
bye.
lovely to see you again. Don't come back. Thank you. Bye-bye. Norman, you're quite right. You don't look at all well.
Oh, it's my own fault, Vera. I should know by now that chicken never agrees with me.
How do you mean?
Well, I always say I want to eat it, and the chicken never wants me to.
Yes, I think I've got to call the doctor. Hello? Is the doctor there, please? Oh, you're not sure when he'll be back because you don't know where he's gone and he could be quite late. Sometimes he's out till the early hours of the morning. Well, my name is Vera Straightman, 43 Funny Name Street, and my husband Norman is ill. Right, well, will you tell the doctor to come round first thing in the morning? Thank you. Yes, Mrs. Straightman, goodbye. Good morning, Norman.
Well, I think I'll go to bed now, Vera.
Yes. Do you want to take anything to help you to sleep?
Oh, that's a good idea. Pass me Richard Afton's television column.
Oh, no, who's that at this hour of the programme?
Evening, sir. Ed Week.
I beg your pardon?
Ed Week, sir. National Ed Week. I'm collecting.
Collecting what?
Ed, sir. Didn't you get the envelope I put through the door?
Oh, I don't know. Did we, Vera?
Yes, I think this is it. Norman, I think you'd better leave this to me.
No, it's all right. Good night.
Oh, no, sir.
Is this it?
Oh, yes, that's it, madam. Just slip an Ed inside. All contributions gratefully received. May I step in for a moment?
Oh, well, yes, just for a moment.
There, that's a bit better.
Do sit down, please, won't you?
Yes, that's much better.
That's a very advanced case of dandruff you've got there.
I see you notice, madam. Yes, you see, I represent the King Charles I Hospital for the Chronically Headless.
The chronically endless.
Oh, yeah, that's right, madam. People in modern society who have, for one reason or the same one, as it were, but only literally, of course, had their heads cut off. And it is for people like us that I'm collecting today.
Well, how can I help you?
Well, by becoming a head donor.
A head donor?
Yeah, that's right, madam. You know how normal, healthy people can give blood quite safely and then just have a short lie down after?
Yes.
Well, it's exactly the same when you're giving head. Except, of course, you have a much longer lie down.
No, I don't think so. Thank you all the same.
All right, then, madam. All right. Of course, if you should change your mind, you can always give me a ring. Here we are. There's nothing sinister to worry about.
Oh, no, of course not, of course not. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, madam.
Bye-bye. The London Head Donor Clinic, care of Theatre of Wax, Wax Museum, most realistic dummies in Baker Street.
uncommonly dismal night in late November, as the thick yellow fog curled up against the window panes of our Baker Street rooms, Holmes's brows were still deeply knotted over some beguiling problem for which he...
I am trying to concentrate, Watson.
Oh, sorry. I say, Holmes, what do you make of this?
Let me have a look. Ah, a curiosity indeed, Watson. Opening tomorrow next door but one Baker Street, the Theatre of Wax. Lifelike effigies which have amazed Burt Lancaster, Eamon Andrews, and all the crowned teeth of Europe. Well, Watson, wait. Watson, I fancy nobody at all is about to burst into the room. Damn. Hello, Mrs. Watson. What can we do for you?
You can let me have a word with my husband, for one thing.
Oh, that's all right, my dear. You may speak freely. Holmes is my most trusted companion.
John, how long have we been married now?
Oh, well, it must be,
3 years, 4 months, and 2 days.
Oh, thank you, Holmes. 3 years, 4 months, and 2 days.
Then don't you think it's about time you came home with me?
Whatever do you mean, dearest?
I want you to spend an evening with me for a change, John.
Oh, no. I don't think Holmes would fancy going out tonight, would you?
I don't want Holmes. I just want you, John. Don't you remember me? I am your wife. We haven't been alone together since the wedding. And even then, Holmes was one of the bridesmaids. Look at this. How can I show people photos like that?
Oh, I think you're being most unfair on Holmes, dear. He did arrange the honeymoon.
And a fine night that was. The bed was far too lumpy.
Ah, well, you must admit it was one of Holmes's best disguises.
John Watson, I think that it's time you came to a decision. Who do you want to spend the rest of your life with? Holmes or me?
What do you think, Holmes?
That does it. I'm leaving you, John. I'm nothing but your private message taker, am I? Well, this is the last message that I'm taking for you. I'm leaving you forever. Do you hear me, John? Forever!
Did you put the cat out, Holmes?
Just before I made your cocoa, Watson. Let me have a look at that message, will you? Mr. Norman Straightman. I fancy I should take up this challenge, Watson. After all, the game might be afoot.
Oh, no, Holmes. It's only a stomach case. I can deal with it.
No, Watson. I think there might be the same amount to this as meets the eye.
Oh, surely you mean more, Holmes.
Watson, business is bad.
Oh, dear. What a day. Darker outside than I thought. Mr. Sprout Hackney, come on,
It's all wet and as you've been in the what a shame it's soaked to the skin.
Where's Norman? Where's Norman? Norman, come on. Norman, where's your... Norman! Hello, Thames Valley Police Brutality Squad. I wish to report a burglary. Somebody has broken in during the night and stolen my husband's head. Head? Well, about 9 inches tall and wearing glasses. Yes?
Morning, Mr. Straightman.
Oh, good morning.
Just take all your clothes off, would you, please? No, don't worry about Holmes here. He accompanies me on all my cases.
Holmes? Not Sherlock Holmes, the great fictional detective.
Yes.
It's amazing, Holmes. How on earth did you deduce that?
You must help me. It's somebody broke in during the night and stole his head.
Most singular. Have there been any unusual happenings around here in the last 24 hours that might have a bearing on this robbery?
Why, I know, Mr. Holmes, nothing at all. Oh, a man who lives at this address did call yesterday asking for head donations, which we refused to give him. Nothing else whatsoever.
Nothing much to go on here, Watson. Tell me, Mrs. Straightman, just a moment, Mrs. Straightman, don't move. Stay absolutely still, whatever you do.
What is it, Mr. Holmes?
It's Sidney Paget, the man who does the illustrations for these stories when they appear in Strand magazine. Don't move or you might come out blurred.
How long does he usually take?
About 5 minutes. Now, Mrs. Straightman, let's get down to business. Good heavens, Watson, is that time? 1 minute to 12? Tell me, Mrs. Straightman, has your husband been behaving at all oddly in the last few days?
In what way oddly?
Well, my understanding of the human psyche, Mrs. Straightman, leads me to infer that the average man will, at various times, do the strangest things for no apparent reason.
It's amazing, Holmes. I can't make head nor tail of it. You've got to be raving mad to steal somebody's head.
No, no, no. I don't think this is political at all. No, I think we shall have to look further afield for our man.
Therefore, you must leave it all to me, Watson. For I have a theory on this matter.
Oh, incredible, Holmes. You never cease to astound me.
Dear old Watson, ever the flatterer.
Mr. Holmes, what exactly are
Oh,
you...
no. I'm Watson.
No, I thought you were Mr. Holmes. That's...
Well, I'm Holmes, really, but it gets very boring for Watson being Watson all the time. So every day at 12 o'clock, I let him be Holmes for an hour, and I rough it a bit as Watson. It's a bit fairer, you see.
Whichever of you gentlemen is Mr. Holmes, will you please, for sake, find my husband's head. You must do something at once before it's too late. As far as I am concerned, money is no object.
How do you mean?
Well, I haven't got any.
Well, in that case, I think we better start right from the beginning, don't you?
Very well.
Not that far back to the beginning.
Incredible, Holmes. Absolutely amazing.
Just as far... Look, don't overdo it, Watson. Just as far as yesterday afternoon. Pray relate events exactly as they occurred.
Well, it all started when my husband, Norman, and I were sitting down yesterday afternoon trying to decide what birthday present we should get for our little nephew, Rodney. All of a sudden, my voice started to fade away until you could hardly hear it.
So we're agreed then. We'll get him some sort of pet. How about a nice pair of rabbits?
Yes, 2 pairs of rabbits make lovely pets.
8 pairs of rabbits make very lovable pets. I tell you what, I'll go out and find a pet shop and see what they've got.
No, Norman, we'll look in grey pages.
Mrs. Straightman, could you relate this in colour, please?
Oh, sorry. We'll look in yellow pages. Oh, look, that looks like a good place to try, Norman.
Where would we all be, I wonder, without the jet set, that in-group who float from party to party around the world, alternately jumping between each other's sheets and sleeping.
Happy New Year.
Oh, Happy New Year. I'm looking for a pet, suitable for my 8-year-old nephew.
You want pet?
Yes, please. Oh, see, you've got them all. Nice, you've got kittens and cockatoos and... Yeah.
Number 14. Hugger. Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Well, I was thinking maybe something like a fluffy little hamster. What do you reckon?
Hamster, yes, but a good hamster.
Well, because he's only 8, you see.
Number 15, number 16. In. Happy New Year.
What was that? That man just bought.
Guinea pig, ball of tropical fish. Very good place.
Yes. I wonder if I did the right thing coming to a Chinese pet shop. Look, I'd better see the manager if you don't mind.
Manager, hiya, manager, manager, hiya, manager.
Don't leave the laundry in the shop, man. Take it away. I know this, I'm sure we can fix you up with something. What about one of our tortoises? Very nice, easy to look after, sir. There we are. Oh, very docile. Hours of fun for the kids, you know.
But what's the idea of the silver foil?
Oh, well, let's say you tell how old it is, sir.
Oh, and how old is it?
Well, not as old as it would have liked, sir. Look, I'll tell you what. How about a lovely minor bird? There we are. Ain't she a beauty, sir?
It's the same as the tortoise.
Yes, I know. Incredible mimics, aren't they, sir? I'll tell you what. How about Oi! Careful with that wax, Eugene! I was going to suggest a lovely baby.
What are you doing with wax?
Oh, nothing, sir. Nothing. Nothing at all. Absolutely making dummies at all, sir.
Something familiar about your face.
Oh, yeah?
Didn't I see you earlier on with your head underneath someone's arm?
Oh, impossible, sir. This is all a flashback to before that happened. Remember?
Oh, yes.
And then suddenly my voice started fading back up again, and Norman brought home a very strange takeaway meal for tea. Mine was all right, apart from the hooves, but Norman ended up with an upset stomach.
Most singular.
Just a minute. I thought it was my turn to be Holmes, Watson.
I'm afraid the situation is far too serious for that, Watson.
Well, I'm very sorry, Watson, but I haven't had my full go as Holmes yet, and I'm not going to be Watson yet again, Watson.
Pray be realistic, Watson. If we are both Holmes now, we will both have to be Watson later on, Watson.
Please, please, Messrs. Holmes, you must try to do everything in your power before it's too late. Oh, don't just stand there like dummies in the theatre of wax.
The theatre of wax.
Dummies? That's it.
Yes?
We'll all go and watch Celebrity Squares.
Ladies, gentlemen, and liberals, step right this way and prepare to be amazed as you've never been amazed before by the most stunning collection of wax effigies ever to grace this continent. Remember, everyone is made totally and completely from wax. First, the lovely Mary Antoinette.
Gasp! The realism takes my breath away.
Next, we move on to Mosby's wax tableau supreme. Monmouth pleads for his life.
Never have I witnessed such lifelike wax portrayals.
Well, here we are at the Theatre of Wax. Now what do we do?
The theatre of wax? I don't understand, Holmes.
Neither do I. What has this got to do with the missing head?
I don't know, Holmes. What do you make of it, Holmes?
I don't understand it, Holmes.
It's amazing, Holmes. What do you make of it, Holmes?
I don't know, Holmes. It has me absolutely baffled, Holmes.
What is the connection between this and the missing head, Holmes?
I don't know. I confess it has me beaten, Holmes.
The logic of coming here escapes me, Holmes.
Excuse me. It's no good both of you being Watson. Somebody has got to be Holmes in order to explain it to the others.
What about you?
All right.
Well, Holmes, where is Mr. Straightman's missing head?
Aha! Well, that's not very good either, really, because I don't know. There's nothing for it. You will have to be Mr. Holmes.
Me? Oh, no. Very well. Observe, Watson, the singularly unusual nature of the heads on all these dummies. It all fits together, Watson. The heads are all badly made, and a man whose description exactly fits the proprietor of this theatre of wax called round to see Mr. Straightman at his home this very early part of the programme, collecting heads. The same man, it appears, who ran a pet shop as a front for some nefarious activity involving wax.
You don't mean ... question mark?
I pray we are still in time.
And now, ladies, and should be at home with their wives, we come to this. The newest, the most original, the most stunningly lifelike of all the figures in my wax museum.
Oh, no, I can't look.
As I feared, Watson, we are too late. Straight Man, the theatre of wax had nothing whatever to do with the missing head of your husband.
It's amazing, Holmes.
And now I think it is time that I let you into a little secret.
A secret, Mr. Holmes?
Yes, I think I had you fooled all along. Tell me, did neither of you ever suspect?
Suspect what, Holmes?
Observe, Watson. If I remove this false chin, wig, hair, makeup. Yes, Watson. I was really Holmes all the time.
But, Holmes, what's the point of disguising yourself as Holmes if you already are Holmes anyway?
Pass me the muffins, Watson.
More to the point, Mr. Holmes. If that man at the Wax Museum didn't steal my Norman's head, then where is it?
Fear not, Mrs. Straightman. You told me that you had searched everywhere for your husband's missing head, did you not?
Why, yes, I looked under the pillows, under the bed. I even looked in the... Well, I searched the whole house.
I fancy there was one place you overlooked.
Where was that?
On top of his neck.
Oh, what a wretched fool I've been, of course. It was there on top of his neck all the time.
It's amazing, Holmes.
Yes, that is where I finally found Mr. Straightman's head, completely connected to the rest of his body, as it had always been.
Well, it all really seems so obvious.
It is usually the obvious that gives us the most trouble, my dear. Well, you asked me to find your husband's head, and I have done so. The case is ended. You will, however, both wish to be reunited with one another.
Yes, please. Oh, Norman. My Norman. Oh.